So I try to put a title in, but obviously that ain't working. So if whoever wants to watch this replay, you can watch it. I will also post it on my YouTube channel. But happy Saturday to you all. It's nice. It's a nice day. It was a nice day. It was hot. But I wanted to repeat these COVID numbers again because these COVID numbers is crazy. And honestly, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm so scared. Hello to everyone that joined, but I'm scared. So here is these numbers for COVID. As of today, we have 202,211,438 cases of COVID-19 around the world. The global death toll is 4.2 million. The U.S. confirmed cases is 35,738,700. Yikes. And the U.S. death toll is 616,732. And as of today, we have over 800,000 people vaccinated in this country. It's 51% of the population, so that's a total of 165.9 million people vaccinated. That was administered as of yesterday. We have 821,000 people fully vaccinated. It's not the goal that was set into play. It was supposed to be 70% of the whatever, but it turned out to not be the case because people are skeptical about getting vaccinated. And I mean, folks have every right to be skeptical of being vaccinated, of being being not being aware, or being aware of what's in their bodies. But if this vaccine does not, only thing that is, I guess, is making people skeptical is the fact that it's not FDA approved yet, because it still has the emergency approval on it. But if you're not going to get vaccinated, because I think I gave up on that message on having people to get vaccinated. I mean, at this point, you're at your own risk. But wear a mask. Wear a mask, because it's no way in hell, and I'm going to be quite frank, and people going to be mad, but I could care less. Black seed oil, herbs, all these other herbs is not going to protect you from getting this new strain of COVID, or just COVID in general. It will protect you from getting a cold and have a strong immune system, but it's not going to protect you from COVID. And especially this strand, Delta, and I think Delta Plus, I think this is Delta Plus, has more of a respiratory effect on the human body than the other strands of COVID that was out there. And I heard there's more strands. I think there's one that's coming from Peru that might be here. But either way, we're still in the middle of a global pandemic. Just because, people are seeing quote unquote light at the tunnel doesn't mean this thing is over. I worry about next month, because next month is autumn, is the beginning of autumn. I worry about October, November, December, January, and February. And kids are supposed to be going back to school. And they're supposed to be going back to school full without a remote option. I know here in New York, kids are going back to school without a remote option. It's kind of scary. And these younger kids under 12, they can't get vaccinated, unfortunately, because it's not approved for, kids under 12 to get vaccinated. And kids that's over 12, some of their parents are rejecting their kids to get vaccinated because it doesn't have an FDA approval. I mean, I agree, Kate. They should have had an FDA approval, because they want to see what it should be an FDA approval, because that's insane. That is not an FDA approval. COVID is going to be here. Some people predicted 5 years. I'm saying 2, but I'm not a scientist. But some people saying 5 years. That's crazy. That's insane. But to all of those who want to take herbs and think it's going to cure them from COVID, you are sadly mistaken. Because, like I said, this thing is just as worse as the other strands. And trust me, it's going to be a killer. So if I were you folks that don't want to get the vaccine, just wear a mask and continue your social distancing. Because some people just gave up on social distancing. Like, it's not here. No, it's here, and it's not going. Like I said, this virus is not going anywhere. So wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance, and just avoid large crowds. That's all I'm saying. One of the reasons why I'm here, because some people are coming up with these election conspiracy theories. I think it's amusing and funny as hell. But I'm going to read a special tweet from a special someone. And trust me, I have no hatred towards this person, but this is just wrong. And it's wrong from a sitting politician that knows better. So here it is. I've heard a lot from the purity as to why Nina lost her race in Ohio. Well, maybe it has something to do with drug companies. Oh, wait. The thing just exited me out of my stuff. That's weird. So, here it is from a sitting politician. I've heard a lot from the purity as to why Nina Turner lost her race in Ohio. Well, maybe it has something to do with drug companies. Wall Street and the fossil fuel industry spending millions trying to defeat her. Is that the kind of Democratic Party we want? I don't think so. And this is coming from the independent senator from Vermont, who continuously ran on a Democratic ticket and refused to be a Democrat. Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont, the junior senator from Vermont, decided to tweet that from his personal account. Now, you could feel how you feel, but to lie and saying why your candidate that you endorse lost her race because of people trying to spend millions of dollars to defeat her is straight up BS. It's BS. First of all, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be quite frank, and some people are going to be mad, but I could care less. Nina Turner lost her race because she lost her race, because she's just that terrible. She burned a lot of bridges with a lot of local politicians in Ohio, because it was said in an article, and it's deemed true. She didn't have a lot of local officials that endorsed her. She had a lot of national support. And she had a lot of DC support, aka establishment support, because she was the establishment candidate. And that is true. She had more money, $2 million more than Chantel Brown. So I'm not understanding how the fossil fuel and pharmaceutical companies are spending a lot of money to defeat her. But this is to Senator Bernard Sanders, the twice failed candidate that couldn't win a damn primary to save his life. Let me tell you something, sir. And this is for you. And I hope this reaches you deep down in your soul. Your candidate, Nina Hudson Turner, lost her race because Nina Turner sucks. Nina Turner was toxic for the last 6 years championing for you to win a primary. You couldn't even win a primary to save your life. You couldn't even win the most liberal states in 2016 to save your life, okay? You couldn't even win the black vote in 2016, and you couldn't win it in 2020. But your candidate, Nina Turner, thought she was going to win the black people in Ohio because she was the daughter, no, excuse me, she is the daughter of Ohio. Apparently, the people of Ohio, well, people of Cleveland thought differently because they noticed how she trashed the Democratic Party just for you, Mr. Senator. Mr. Senator. Yeah, for you. So therefore, Bernie Sanders or Bernard Sanders, stop lying. Stop being an ass. Actually do your job that you get paid, because you get paid $174 a year to do a job that you have not done in over 30 years, and cut the bullcrap. And as for Nina Turner and her supporters, this is for you. Nina Turner lost her race. She lost her race because she sucks. She lost her race. She blew $4 million and lost. History caught up with her. That's what happened. History caught up with her. And it came back in her face. Tenfold. And pastors said she bare false witness, and she had for the last 6 years. So if you're mad, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can endorse another candidate that doesn't trash the Democratic Party. That would be a wise decision. And that's another thing. Nina Turner never had an actual policy agenda. She said Medicare for all, $15 minimum wage. How are you going to implement that? How is that going to happen? You know, it's so crazy because these quote unquote progressives say a lot of good things, right? They say a lot of good policies, but how are you going to implement it? How are you going to pay for it? And don't get me wrong, I would love to see a national minimum wage of $15. I would love to see affordable health care, even though we have affordable health care system. I would like to see a $15 minimum wage. I would like to see some student loan debt forgiven. I would like all of that. But how are you going to implement it? Are you going to work hard to implement it? Are you going to work with people within your caucus, not just among your clique? Are you going to do that? Because obviously, all you guys do is scream for camera. And that's why I have beef with them. You criticize the very same people that will hold your hand when a Republican attacks y'all. And that's the truth. That's the damn near truth. But as I said, I'm going to repeat this message again, because I got to repeat it for all time's sake for Mr. Bernard Sanders. Bernard, if you're listening out there, well, excuse me, Senator Sanders, if you're listening, your candidate lost. Nina Hudson Turner lost because she sucks. She trashed the very same Democratic Party that she's supposed to be a part of, right? For you to run for president, and that you lost twice, not once, but twice, because you couldn't get the core-based voters to support your platform, aka black people. Them same church grandmas, them same deacons, those are the ones that go vote. And apparently they wasn't feeling you because they did not like the white men behind you. The dirty white men. So you can't blame the fossil fuel industry or pharmaceutical companies. And that's another thing. The pharmaceutical companies, what proof? And I'm going to say, what proof of the pharmaceutical companies and the fossil fuel industry endorsed Chantel's campaign? Where is that proof? Where is it? Where is it? Because anything, she was the grassroots candidate. No, this is, once again, the far left making up shit because their candidate didn't win. And realize their candidate just suck. They just suck. Just trash. Straight up trash. That's all. Just straight up motherfucking trash. And this applies to Cenk Uygur, Tim Black's ashy ass, and Cornel West's ashy ass. Your candidate lost. Like, how many times people gonna tell you, your candidate lost? She couldn't build a bigger coalition. She did not apologize for the shit she said about the Democratic Party, about the vice president, the president, and the former first lady and former secretary of state and former presidential candidate. She did not apologize. And people remember that shit. And more importantly, she disrespected the Don Corleone of black politics. The Yoda of politics. Of black politics. James Claiborne. Not good. You had the religious clergy coming after you. The Reverend Dr. Marvin McMichael. Yeah. So, yeah, tough on Nina. But I want to cover this last thing with Congresswoman Bush of Missouri, 1st Congressional District. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with a huge urgency. And I'm going to say this being real. Cori Bush did not force, corner, or called out the president and the vice president and the CDC to extend the eviction moratorium. She didn't. She did not. She created a demonstration of, protesting, but she didn't do anything. That was already in the works because they knew that Congress couldn't get their shit together because Republicans did not support the bill that Maxine Waters had or somebody else in Congress had. And that's the truth. All she did was ate some Oreos and some other brand name snacks. And then you have the Sunrise folks, I guess they were there, and some of her posse there. She was late. Her and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was late. Late as hell to vote for continuing session. I don't know why they late to their job that they get paid $174,000 a year for. Why you late? And she wasn't even a co-sponsor. So I know folks gonna get mad, but I could care less. I'm gonna say this one more time. Congresswoman Cori Bush of Missouri's 1st Congressional District did not corner, force, do anything to make the president and the vice president and the CDC extend the eviction moratorium. She didn't. And that is that. Exactly. Why are you late? Why are you late? Cori Bush is driving around with bullet holes in her car saying that she's the only one who needs security. And that's another thing. Security for you, but defund the police for everybody. And the way they're advocating for defund the police is wrong. Defund the police doesn't mean cut the police in full. It means cut the police budget. Streamline services. The way they're saying it is totally wrong. She and her clique posse, aka the squad, are giving Republicans their talking points. And they're saying that blue cities like my city and LA and Atlanta and DC and Boston and Chicago are all bad places to live. And Portland is very white. And the last time I checked, major cities are not really bad places to live at. It's actually more safer than some of these rural areas and even the suburban areas. But the fact is that it's security for me, but not protection for you. It's a problem. And she's not the only one that has private security. Jamal Baldwin has private security up in Yonkers. Who coming to get you in Yonkers? I thought you was about it, sir. Obviously not. And you live in a nice house in Yonkers. You living better than your constituents in the Bronx, in the northeast section of the Bronx, on Gun Hill, Wakefield, Allerton. What's up with that, homie? What's up with that, son? You living nice and comfortable. $174,000 a year? Shit. Like, I mean, these folks just trip me the fuck out. And it's not me. Don't say like, oh, Shantae, you hate the far left. I don't hate the far left. They just get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. They get on my nerves because they talk so much and don't put the pen to the paper for legislation. And don't get me wrong, I side-eye some of these little white moderates in the Democratic Party, but at least they get shit done. These so-called far leftists don't get shit done. These ones. Take lessons from people like Jayapal and Barbara, what's her name? Barbara Lee and Karen Bass and Adriana Espriat. They actually get shit done. They do. Always in front of the camera. Always on the news shows. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop wasting people's money. You're wasting people's tax dollars. And those are the facts. But I am about to get off this thing. I also met up with Dr. C. It was lovely. Very lovely. And she's an extremely cool person. You know, there's more people that I would like to meet up that live in New York City, but I know a lot of the people in the quote-unquote K-Hive do not live in New York. It's only about like a smidget of us. But I would like to see more New York people. And of course, I like to hang out with Dr. C a lot more. But you're welcome. But until then, folks, you have a lovely night. Thank you.